Hey, hello everyone. Thank you so much for being here. This is so much fun for me to be able to connect with people outside of my town and all over the United States and even internationally. So I'm really excited to be sharing with you guys tonight. Hope you had a great Christmas and a happy new year. And tonight, the title of this presentation is USANA, a health and business partnership. So I'm going to actually talk to you guys a little bit about my experience with USANA, why I became a health coach, and then share a bit of information with you about products and why I felt like the partnership with me as a health coach was such a great choice for us. But before I get started, I'm going to just show you a couple of quick pictures of myself and a couple of our kids. And we have 7 kids, but this screen isn't quite big enough to show you all of that. But I wanted to share a little bit about it. You can see a few pictures here up in the left-hand corner. That's our son, Daniel. He is the last of the 7. And I showed that picture because we love to fish. We're big fishermen. And the one right next to that is a picture of my husband, Todd, and I up on the left-hand corner there. And that's actually our new cabin that we bought in Minnesota that we're super excited to have. And we're looking forward to lots of memories there. We love to fish and we love to be outside. And the most fun thing we ever do is take family vacations. So this is fun to be able to provide, a place for our kids and our grandkids to come up. A couple more pictures up on the right-hand side. Those are a couple of pictures of myself teaching. Those are on the bottom there too. I wanted to share that with you because as a USANA lifestyle and health coach, holistic health coach, partnering with them, I get to do a lot of traveling, and that's just been a dream come true to be able to public speak all over the country, and it's an honor to speak for USANA. So that's been that, and when we do that, we get to do a lot of traveling. This picture in the middle, we went on a cruise with USANA that we were able to actually win everything, the flight and the time that we stayed in the boat in our suite, and everything was paid for, so that made it extra fun. And we're actually there for our 25th anniversary, so the same month, so that was super fun. I love that picture of Todd. He had so much fun. And then the bottom one there is another just picture of us in our boat, fishing and having a great time. I just like to share with you guys a little bit about, things that we like to do. And this slide is a picture of our family. Again, there's Todd and I on the left. We did that, obviously this fall. So weird to look at that picture of my kids. Our kids are so big. And then you can see the little one in the front there is Addison, and she is 5. It's our granddaughter. And then I am actually holding Bennett, who is also 5. And then Todd is holding Aubrey. That picture's kind of small, but Aubrey will be 2, actually. We're celebrating her birthday this weekend. So we have a great time. Not enough slides to show you guys all the fun things that we get to do as a family, but we do have so much fun. So I wanted to give you a little bit of background with that, with us and who we are before we get started. And I'll share my story with you in a little bit. But actually, my goal for today is actually to just share a little bit of, impart to you some things that I've learned about USANA. I've been a health coach for a long time, but I want to share with you first some information and why I continue to do this, why I chose to do this actually at a fairly late time in my life. I think I was 47 when I started, but my story actually goes back to, let me go back to this picture. That's a better one to look at. My story is 22 years ago this year, I was working as a nurse, and my husband and I also own, or he runs and we own, a flooring business. And so he's very good at that, and he was very busy with that. I was very busy working as a nurse, and I was working second shift, and we had 4 kids at the time that we were homeschooling. So life was real busy, like your guys' life, super busy. But I was really missing out. I felt at that time in my life I was missing out on opportunities to be, with our kids more often, certainly with my husband, who we were sort of just seeing each other in passing. One of our sons, who was the youngest at the time, was when he was born with a lung disease, and it was just like a couple months after he was born that I started thinking, like, I really want to be home. And I think a lot of that was sort of encouraged by the fact that he was sick when he was born, and we spent 3 months in intensive care, and it was a scary time. And so I feel like I just sort of started to really realize how important the time being with them is. So that became really important to me. And right when we were thinking about that, a friend of ours introduced us to the idea and the opportunity to go down and listen to a VHS tape. That's a long time ago. VHS tape of a doctor named Dr. Myron Wentz, and he's the founder of USANA Health Sciences. So they asked us if we wanted to go down and listen to this. It was about science and something to do with nutrition. So as a nurse and kind of an athlete my whole life, I was very interested. So we went down and we listened for 45 minutes to this VHS tape from Dr. Wentz, and honestly, those of you who have heard my story before, I know you laugh at this every time, but he was really very boring, very monotone, very sciencey. But I love science, and he was just so sincere. He was so smart, and because I guess he was so sciencey, that was probably part of it. But the vision that he shared for the world, his vision to free the world of degenerative disease, and the love that he had, that was just really clear that he had for humanity, was just so sincere. And intuitively, both my husband and I knew that we really wanted to be part of what was going on at this company. And it was fairly new at the time. We'll be celebrating our 25th year this year, so almost 22 years ago, it was a fairly young company. So when we left, we knew what we wanted to do. We knew we wanted to be part of this, and so that's what we did. I'll tell you, there were certainly no tools and no social media and no easy way to share this back then. And I didn't have any idea what I was doing, except for I knew the stories of other people and their lives were changing. And so that's what happened. I shared what I did know. I shared other people's stories. Fibromyalgia was just being diagnosed and actually being given a name back then, right about that time. And tremendous, wonderful, beautiful stories were happening with those people that were starting to use USANA's products that had fibromyalgia, really giving them their life back. So that was a big thing I got to share and serve so many people. So within about 6 months of sharing, I was able to earn enough income that I could pay for our health insurance, which I was getting through my nursing job. And that's really all I wanted to do. That was really my only goal then, was obviously we wanted to be users of these amazing products, and we were, but I really wanted to be able to stay home with the kids. So that's what happened. We started using products. We had a great experience. We were really young, so we felt good, but I'm grateful that we had the insight to see that we wanted to stay well. We wanted to prevent. As a nurse, I took care of, 90% of the patients I cared for had degenerative disease. So it really made sense to both of us. So that's what happened. I was able to leave my nursing job, and I never went back. And I say to people that if that was the very last thing that ever happened with my experience with USANA, that would be literally one of the greatest gifts anyone could have ever given me, was the opportunity to stay home, contribute to my family financially, but to be able to stay home with our children and never have to miss a day was an absolute gift, and to be able to help, financially as well. So that was how it started, and then we continued to have 3 more children. I did very, very little over the following 18 years with USANA. Life was busy, and again, we just didn't have a lot of tools, and it felt overwhelming to me. But I knew one day I wanted to do this full time. Every time I would share, when people would come into our life and we had the opportunity, we'd absolutely be so excited to share it and share our love for the product and share our love for the company, the integrity of the company. All that stuff really, really excited us, but we really had to wait, honestly. And that time happened for us about 3 years ago now. My dad unfortunately died of a very rare brain cancer, and he left us a little bit of money, not tons and tons of money, but certainly more than Todd and I had ever had at one time. And we wanted to be responsible with that money. We'd never had savings, one income basically. With USANA coming in just a little bit, not very much. And so we took it to our financial advisor, and she told us that retirement basically wasn't going to be anywhere near for us. And I was 47 at the time, and Todd was 49. And that wasn't going to be anywhere near for us retirement-wise. And Todd would have to continue doing what he was doing for another 20 years. As a flooring installer, his job is incredibly physical. Thank God for USANA's products. That's a whole nother presentation, but we certainly would not be able to have him without. But then I would also have to go back to work as a nurse for 20 years just to maintain the lifestyle that we have. So it was not really depressing for us. We actually walked out and we, again, intuitively knew that this was the time for us. We kind of high-fived and we knew that USANA was our answer. And so that's what happened. We went to a Next Level You One Body event, which are become great friends of ours, Jordan and his wife Kristen Kemper, and we went to an event and we were very inspired by what we heard and what we learned, and it was perfect timing for us. So I went home and I started teaching twice a week about health and wellness and the USANA opportunity. And business did very, very well. And over the last 3 years, our business has accelerated and we've done very well. And I can tell you guys tonight, sharing with you as we go forward, I feel like I'm really good at what I do. I love what I do, and I know that I'm good at what I do, but I really do credit all that has happened through my experience with USANA. Certainly my life prepared me for it, but I can tell you that it's a blessing to be able to have the confidence that I have in the product and in the company as a whole. That makes it really, really easy for me to share from my heart with those people that I love and that I have the opportunity to meet with. So that's what's happened, and actually we're just getting started. So that's a little bit about me. So now I'd like to kind of go in and again impart with you guys just a little bit about USANA and what we do and what we talk about. So some of the things that that you guys are aware of are the challenges that every single generation that we've experienced and those coming forward. Or these are some of the things that we deal with. We deal with health. Health is an important thing to us. Financial freedom, which we'd all enjoy and would like. Time freedom and community. And what I mean by all these is health, as you guys know, is incredibly important. I don't know of anything that's quite as important as health. If we have money but we don't have health, that's not quite as much fun, right? So some of the questions that I want you to think about that we all think about at one point in time is, again, the health, the financial freedom. Are you having to work so much that you're not able to enjoy your health or enjoy your life? Which again leads right into the time freedom. Are you having the time that you want to spend with your family, to do the things that you love? And community. Community is really important, and I find that as I've gotten older, I had my own community with my family, but community has become extremely important to me in the difference that we can make in our own families, in our immediate communities, and then throughout the world. So we really need each other, and above all, I think the timing right now in our world, it's so incredibly important to encourage and to foster a sense of community. So that's this first part, again, about this presentation is going to talk to you about why I chose those 3 years ago to move forward with our decision to partner with USANA and go full-time at 47 years of age and 49 years of age. Why did we choose this industry and this company? And it really begins with these 4 challenges that all of our generations face. So the next slide is this one. So the reality that we teach about, you guys, is that, and I've been teaching now again full-time for 3 years, but we are sicker than ever. I just got off the phone with a nurse and we had quite a lengthy conversation about this. We are sicker than ever. We are more stressed financially than ever. We have very little free time, lack of community, and a large part of that is because our time is not free to do the things that we want to do, and the lack of freedom to do the things that we want, either because of a health challenge or because of the financial difficulties or the limitations we have there. So again, why I chose USANA, looking at those challenges. Number one, if I was going to partner with any kind of business, for me, it made sense to, I don't have $30,000 to $50,000 to start a new business, right? I already knew that USANA was incredible because I had this amazing opportunity to watch them for 20 years, the integrity and the quality of what we were doing. But if I were to choose a company, there's 3 timeless business principles that if you all are here and you're thinking about a business opportunity, these are the things to think about. And again, why I partnered. And I think this part of what I'm sharing is really important because this is $1 trillion industry, headed to be $1 trillion industry. And you have all had many, many different opportunities or or heard of many different companies that you have every opportunity to partner with. And so I think knowing the integrity of the actual company itself is really, really important so that you know that you can trust what product you're going to choose to take from this company, right? Hopefully. So the three timeless business principles are: is it an expanding industry? Is it a unique and consumable product? And is there teamwork involved? Or am I going to have to be doing this by myself? So again, for USANA, for me, when I looked at those business principles and I looked at USANA, USANA is an expanding industry. Health and wellness is an expanding wellness industry. It's again headed to be $1 trillion industry. Number two does it have a unique and consumable product? Yes. USANA has the #1 rated supplements in personal care in the world. And again, I've had this unique opportunity, and you're going to hear me talk about that, to watch USANA and what it has done over the last 22 years of being with them. They've done amazing things. They've seen exponential growth in the industry. So it's been an amazing, humbling thing to be part of. Teamwork, if there's one thing that I am so happy to tell you, the teamwork is incredible. We have a huge, huge number of associates and customers worldwide, and the teamwork that I've been able to experience has been just maybe my favorite part of everything. So is it an expanding industry? And we talk about this because I don't know if this excites you or if this is not fun for you, but I can tell you, as my business has grown and I have an international business, it's really, really good for me to know that I have room to expand. It's really, really good for me to know that there's such a sound company that we are now in 20 plus markets. Not many companies can say that. We have it'll be 25 years this year, beginning this year, 25-year history. We are a publicly traded company, which is really, really incredible. We have billions in annual sales every year and 20 plus markets, like I mentioned. And we're also an FDA registered facility in the United States, which is really, 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 really big, you guys. So I love those things. Next slide is talking about, as a business, it was important to me. I knew what my goals were financially. I knew where I wanted to be, where I wanted my husband and I to be in the financial freedom that I want us to have, and for our friends or for our family to experience. But it was also important to me that if I was going to be sharing a business opportunity, not everybody is me. Not everybody have those huge goals like I do. Sometimes people just want to be partners as far as taking product. They want to maybe partner with me as far as becoming a referral partner and having opportunity to maybe get their products paid for. Or what if they just want to earn an additional, $100 a week? So I love this particular slide because if you look at this, these are the ranking levels within the business part of USANA. And so if a person shares enough, they can rank advanced to become a believer. And if you can see, 45% of our associates within USANA become or get to that rank level of called a believer. And that means that they are making an annual earning of $5,357. So that basically means they're making $100 a week consistently. So I love that I can look at this, and yes, my goals are ginormous, and I love when people want ginormous also goals financially, because it can happen. I love teaching on your gift to be able to create your own life, but I also love the opportunity for people to make an extra $100. I mean, look at the percentage of people that are making $100 a week consistently, and what can that do for you? So maybe that's extra going out to eat. Maybe those are date nights. Maybe that's going to pay for your product, right? $100 a week at $400 a month is going to pay for your product and then some. Or maybe your whole family's product. Maybe it would be even partial mortgage payment. Maybe it would help, put money away for your kids' college fund if that's what you do. A lot of different things I could think of, and certainly I'm sure you, that an extra $100 a week could do. And I think about our children, as they're growing and they're getting comfortable in what they're doing and talking about their financial goals, what could an extra $100 do for a young adult? that's just taking the product, taking care of themselves, and sharing, even at a very part-time basis. So this part is actually really important to me. And I love that we can, a lot of associates are earning $100 a week consistently. So I love that. I want to share this slide with you because this is kind of special to me. Remember earlier on I mentioned to you that after Todd and I decided that, yes, we kind of drew the line in the sand, if you will, and we said, this is definitely something, USANA is what we're going to do. It's been here for us. It's been waiting for us. We've watched it. We've watched it grow, and intuitively we knew. So this woman here on the left, Colette Larson, oh my gosh, guys, I have heard about her since day one of USANA, and I hope you have the opportunity to hear her whole full story. But she was a mom with children that were very ill, and she joined because she partnered with USANA in the very, very beginning. She's one of our very first associates. She had the foresight to see what Dr. Wentz was doing globally and to trust what he was doing. And she not only trusted her health, but she trusted the health of her, I believe, cystic fibrosis that her children had. And she was able to help them tremendously with their health and her health. And she went on, she was just a full-time secretary. I don't mean to devalue being a secretary, but she was working full-time as a secretary with 5 children, a single mom. And she went on to, now she's a 7-figure income earner. That's pretty incredible. Such a kind woman. And I know her, Michael Callejas in the middle there. Michael, and both Michael and Lindsay were both speakers at the event that I went to 3 years ago, where I was just a person in the audience having just a spark of a dream, and what my potential was and what I could do within this company. I was so inspired by Michael, and he's got an incredible story. And now Michael is my friend, and I actually teach with Michael. I'm getting ready to leave here in a few weeks to teach on the same stage that Michael will be teaching on. So it's pretty surreal for me to share him with you. His story is incredible. He had no college experience. He was a former electrician, making, very minimum wages. And now he's a 6-figure income earner and growing, and he travels all over the world. In fact, he just is coming back from a huge trip now. And I'll be seeing him in a couple weeks. Lindsay has become a great friend and mentor. She's hilarious. She's now known as the mom who makes a 6-figure income in her yoga pants, which that's what we all really do, all of us moms. It's so awesome. But Lindsay is great. She is so much fun. I remember the very time I met her at that same event, and she was just really getting started too, and her business has grown so much, but she's been an incredible inspiration to me, just as an amazing mom of 3 children, and her husband's a great football coach down south. And so I just wanted to share with you guys a little bit about these regular, normal people, and that just believed that not only in themselves, but in this company and what it could do. And then they had a plan and they made it happen. So it's pretty fun for me to share that with you. So back to this part here again, without health, what do we really have? Our health is honestly the people that I get to sit with. It makes sense to people when we start talking about our health is actually the absolutely most important thing. At some point in time, all of us are going to deal with some sort of challenge in our health, or we certainly know someone that has had some sort of challenge with their health. So unfortunately, many people are plagued by the leading causes of premature death. So those leading causes aren't getting any better, unfortunately. And, when I am either on a webinar, I can't see your guys' hands, but usually I ask if you would participate when I'm speaking to a group of people by raising their hand. And I can tell you that full-time teaching, and now I've really cut back and I do a lot of, public speaking, but not as much. I used to do twice a week, but whenever I would teach, I would ask the question, how many of you know someone that has cardiovascular disease, cancer, stroke, respiratory disease, or diabetes? Please raise your hand and keep them up. So people would raise their hand and I'd say, so please keep them up. How many of you know someone that has died from one of these diseases? Keep them up. How many of you have a family history of one of these diseases? Keep your hands up. And then I ask them to look around the room. And every single time, and maybe now hundreds of times I've taught, it's always 100% of the room has their hands raised. It takes 10 to 15 years for degenerative disease to present itself. Our bodies are long before that probably trying to tell us things, but unfortunately we don't pay much attention until sometimes it's too late. Now this slide, guys, is not meant to be depressing in any single way, but I want people to be aware you came to this webinar for a reason. Whether it was to find out about business, the company, or your health, most likely it was for your health. And I encourage you and I applaud you for being here, because this is meant to be a reality check, but it's also to give you hope. If there were no hope, I would not be doing this webinar. We know now that we have so many stresses outside of our control: pollution, radiation, the toxins in the air and in our foods. Stress is the number one cause of oxidative stress in our bodies, which is the leading cause of degenerative disease. How many of you struggle or deal with stress in your life? And I like to bring out the point too that it's not just us, as adults that deal with stresses in our lives. It's absolutely our children. So I'll make a little plug here for children. We get to make decisions for ourselves, but our children do not. So at the end of this webinar tonight, if you guys aren't ready to make a decision to move forward with caring for your body tonight, please consider children. It's so incredibly important, and I do a whole nother webinar on children's health. But so there are stressors outside, or uncontrollable elements outside of what we can control, right, that affect our health. And so what happens is our health starts to deteriorate because of those things in our foods that we just talked about, stress being number one. And what we need to combat that stress, which causes oxidative stress, which is the damage to our body that causes those diseases, we need antioxidants and we need good nutrition. Good, whole, clean foods, organic foods are essential to maintaining our cellular health. When I say cellular health, I'm talking about the cells of our body are the foundation of our physical body. It's what everything builds off. So if our cellular health isn't on point, you're going to know it. This is where it all begins to deteriorate. So it's so incredibly important that we get optimal cellular nutrition. Our bodies know exactly what to do when it's given what it was required to have. And I know that makes sense to you guys. So are your cells getting the nutrients needed to win the fight that we're all fighting? Being more aware of degenerative disease and shifting this around for not only yourself and your family, but for our country. So most people, I believe it's up in the high 80% in our country, supplement. And so they understand that supplementation is important. At some level, we understand that. But are supplements a solution? Doesn't matter what kind, and are you getting what you pay for? But the fact is that supplements are absolutely not created equally. 54% of the tablets tested in recent studies did not even disintegrate within 20 minutes, and that's very important. To be soluble, to actually enter the cell, is incredibly important. It illustrates that disintegration is an indicator of product quality, and it's a dietary supplement concern, because what happens is when we hear about these things, you hear about all these supplements in recent past that are being pulled from the shelves, and we hear bad things about this company or that, it really does a disservice to the rest of the industry. And there are definitely some great products out there. Absolutely, USANA is the best product in the world. And that, honestly, I wouldn't be here to talk to you about that. We're absolutely different than any product available. So this is actually why. This is Dr. Wentz, a little picture of him, Dr. Myron Wentz. He's the founder and chairman of USANA Health Sciences. And actually, the previous slides that talked about those supplements and the bad name they've gotten is actually why Dr. Wentz decided to make this shift. Dr. Wentz was already world renowned for what he was doing in Go Laboratories, and what he did there was create diagnostic tests for disease. So he had all these human cells in culture, brain cells, skin cells, liver cells, kidney cells, heart cells, all these cells that he was growing in culture and keeping them alive indefinitely with the beautiful, proper nutrition that he knew to give them. So there's this group of cells that was living healthy, vibrant lives, and these cell cultures being fed beautiful nutrition that he knew to give them, right? And then there were the other cells that were just being given other things, regular nutrition, maybe everyday nutrition. They were dying. They were diseasing, and that's how he was creating these diagnostic tests, such as Epstein-Barr, which is mono. Those are one of the diagnostic tests that he's world renowned for. He's actually considered to be the world's expert on the human cell. So that's why he made that shift, because what he was finding was the supplementation and included the food and the supplementation. Actually, he tested that. He gave at the time, 25 years ago, the leading supplement. He broke it down and fed that supplement to these beautiful cells, and the cells actually died. So this was a huge shift for Dr. Wentz and a huge turning point. Both of his parents died at an early age of degenerative disease, and he really wanted and believed that he could turn that around, knowing that once the cell was able to have that optimal nutrition, what beautiful, miraculous things it was supposed to do. It wasn't aging as quick. It wasn't diseasing. He was able to prevent that degeneration. So that's Dr. Wentz. One of the things, our flagship product, the very first product that Dr. Wentz created, was what we now call the Cell Essentials. We have announced last August, groundbreaking nutritional science. The technology is called Cell Essentials, and it is a triple action support, which I don't want to get too sciencey here, but it allows the cell to nourish itself, protect itself, and renew itself. This is groundbreaking. No one else. This is lots and lots of patents. I don't even know how many patents, but we are the only company and the only product in the world that gives this kind of technology. It really was incredible technology, and this slide here shows it's over 100 patents that we have on this particular product, and only USANA is able to get this to you. And so it's pretty fantastic and spectacular. We've already been leaders in the industry for 25 years. We've been talking about some of the things that mainstream medicine is just now starting to talk about for 20 years. Only last year, 2 years ago, Dr. Wentz, I sat in a room with him when he talked for over an hour on how important the molecule of cholesterol is, maybe the most important molecule in the body. Well, we've been talking about that for years and years and years. And now mainstream medicine, has just started talking about how important fat is. So this new technology in our products is the only place you're going to find it, and it is an incredible thing for the world to have the opportunity to get a hold of. I'm very proud of that. This is a picture of our health pack, and I love it. It's probably my favorite product. I've been taking it for a long, long time. We're the only company that I'm aware of that is able to customize. So this one comes like this. It comes with a morning pack and an evening pack. With your Cell Essentials, which is our multivitamin, a calcium, an AO booster, which is another patented product, which I like to call our super duper free radical fighter offer, an excellent complete AM and PM packet, which are super convenient and everyone really loves that. So that comes in this health pack. It's very convenient. It's going to include the nutrients, the vitamins and minerals to fight off aging. So anti-aging, more energy for you, better sleep, less joint pain, the boost your metabolism, put it where it's supposed to be, better focus, super great skin, and to detoxify. So, again, your body knows what to do when it's given beautiful, perfect, quality nutrition, and these are some of the benefits that you'll see. This is Dr. Lyle McWilliam. Excuse me, I love sharing this source. This is called the NutriSearch's Comparative Guide to Nutritional Supplements. And if you guys have an opportunity to look at this, this has been, I don't even know how many editions they have now, but I think over 6 different editions now since it's put out. And there's like 3 years in between editions because tons and tons of research. This is third party. So it has nothing to do with USANA, but it's been a great tool and resource for us. So it goes over 1,600 nutritional supplements evaluated, and USANA's Essentials, our flagship product, continues to set the gold standard, earning the NutriSearch Gold Medal of Achievement for proven product excellence. It's an awesome. This guy is incredible. He's been on the Dr. Oz show many times talking about nutrition, and he's very well thought of. So he actually is a former Canadian member of the Parliament and a member of the Legislative Assembly of British Columbia. So he comes with some pretty incredible credentials. The other thing I love talking about, actually, since I have had the opportunity to sponsor more than several now, very exciting, elite and Olympic athletes. In fact, I'm due to talk with one of my athletes this afternoon. I may have just missed his call. So I love this part as an everyday athlete and a big fan of sports. USANA, again, we are the only company that I know of that even comes remotely close to the number of athletes that trust us with their health. And if any of you are athletes on this webinar, you understand, and even if you're not, what an athlete, their body is their business. What they put in their body, they know every single thing that they, in fact, when they're training, excuse me, in Colorado, at the Olympic place where they train, their oxygen is even controlled in some places. So they absolutely know every single thing that they put in their body, and they absolutely cannot risk testing for banned substances. And they also know they need to supplement. Their body above all are being taxed and worked, and they just absolutely need it. And so we're really, really proud to say that we have over 1,000 elite and professional Olympic athletes. It's been an honor to meet so many of them and to continue to work with them and to see how they excel. We have the only company that I know that offers any sort of guarantee that they won't be tested for banned substances, but we're also the only one that offers up $1 million guarantee. So that means if they would be tested for a banned substance, then USANA would pay them up to $1 million. Pretty attractive. So not only is the product something they want to be a part of, for sure, but the guarantee is also pretty sweet for them. So we've talked about micronutrients, excuse me, meaning, our vitamins and minerals. So I'm going to just take a second to talk about our My Smart Foods products. So these are super, super clean meal replacement shakes. We have the whey, the soy, the plant-based protein. You can add additional protein. It's also whey-based, very pure. That we do absolutely have for sure the cleanest meal replacement shakes on the market, and they taste so good. I'll tell you, my husband has been drinking our shakes for 13 years. These are the new and improved products, which I absolutely love, love, love. Before our product, I'm going to show you on the next slide. Those are still available for us, and they're still amazing. At the time, we just improved the already the best, so it's pretty cool. All the bars, Whole Foods, are so good. The one that's not on here is the Berry Nutty bar, which is my favorite. I love all the bars. So I love that my family loves them. Our original products on this next slide here were called Nutrimeal. We weren't going to keep them around, but we decided to. So I have a lot of customers that are really happy about that, including my husband, who, once you find a product that you love and it's working for you, you don't want to get rid of it, and he absolutely loves it. But we also love that our children love it. All of our children, all 7 of them, including my grandchildren, absolutely love our meal replacement shakes. Of course, they all supplement, so it's pretty great. And what I also love about it is that this was not created, our foods program was not created to lose weight. We definitely use that for weight management, and my nutrition program is excellent. But what it was developed for was to reverse type 2 diabetes, which you all know is completely reversible. And so your body, again, knows what to do when it's given what it needs. And so that's a really, really fun part of our program that we're able to share with people and help them lose weight, but to reverse type 2 diabetes and experience the health benefits of being at a healthy weight that feels good. So USANA, you guys, as we've been talking about, I feel like for us and for my family and my team members, internationally, USANA has been the solution to all the challenges that I've shared with you. Definitely, I guess most importantly is our health. Right? Our health, I'm so blessed. And again, as I age, I'll be 50 in a couple of months. And I feel so fortunate that I partnered with this company when I did. And now really my highest purpose is to share how health, I really believe, is the absolutely first step that you could take to loving who you are. Putting that oxygen mask on yourself first, it's such a thing that we've all heard, but it is so incredibly important when you can take care of this one physical body that we get to use, this one tour we get here. You're better able to not only love yourself, but to contribute to your family and your job, your community, and really to the world. And once you are feeling like you're intended to feel, really the possibilities that spring forth from that, in my own life I've seen, and the honor to see in others has just been it's hard to even express. We talk about financial freedom. For some of you who this sounds interesting to, I really encourage you to talk about how, if this lines up with what we're talking about and our higher purpose in sharing this with the world, please talk to the person that invited you to this presentation tonight. At the very least, you'll come out with some really good information. I think it's an amazing opportunity. The time freedom that allows, having residual income. Again, my life has completely changed, and my husband's. And then the sense of community, I mentioned that. One of the greatest things has been the opportunity to meet like-minded people that have these giant hearts to serve, and they're all about personal growth and how that can contribute to changing the world for the better. That's been something I actually never even imagined. So it has definitely been the answer for us. One of the last things I'll share with you is the impact that USANA makes in the world. I mentioned very early on that we intuitively knew we wanted to be part of USANA, and this was, again, one of the reasons. Our True Health Foundation is the only foundation that I'm aware of that gives absolutely every penny of every dollar to the underprivileged through money raised for their communities to bring water or supplies, or the thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for meals donated, and over 20 countries that are reached. Any kind of disaster that we hear about, USANA is absolutely on it. It's been a privilege to be part of that, and I look forward to more opportunities with my family and our team to travel different places with USANA. But they also make it really easy, the True Health Foundation. So every month I add $10 on my auto order that automatically goes to the True Health Foundation, and I just check where I want it to go. So I could go to meals, or I could go to, whatever the case might be. I actually just check, I want it to go wherever the need is greatest. So I love being a part of that. That gives me great joy to know that I get to be part of that. So this point in the webinar is where, I want to stick to our time and being able to close here pretty quick. But this is where I want you guys to kind of ask yourself, again, you came to this webinar for a reason. I appreciate you being here, and I encourage you to just listen. And to me, if you can ask yourself these questions and any of these fit, you definitely want to continue the conversation. Do you think these products sound great? From hearing me, from hearing the person that's asked you to this webinar, do you think you would use the products? Do you think they would be of benefit to your life, your family's life, your friends' lives? If the business opportunity sounds something that lines up with where you want to go, if you were looking for more time freedom, if that sounds like that could be something that you'd want more information about, or you're looking for something now, can you find the time to work 2 to 10 hours a week? We hear the saying, if I can get it right, something, I'm going to probably botch it, but it's about working now full time on our income and part time on our, what's it called? On our fortune. That's right. Work full time with our income and part time on our fortune until that part time fortune replaces the income. And that's actually what so many people, I personally, my own self, and so many people are able to do. Are you teachable? We have a great plan. I'm a big believer in not reinventing the wheel. I have a plan, I execute a plan, and that's what I help my team do. Are you motivated, not just for a business opportunity, if that's not your thing, but are you motivated to be the best that you can be physically? Again, it takes 10 to 15 years for degenerative disease to develop and to show up in our physical body. Our children, they are experiencing more stressors than ever before. And so again, this isn't meant to be a bummer. This is meant to be, you're here for a reason. Big believer in that God, the universe, however you look at it. To me, it's absolutely God in all things, but brings opportunities to us every single day, every single minute of every single day. So if this is something that you came to hear about, trust it and go with it. And can you be motivated? Can you be motivated to take this step towards the rest of your life being the best you've ever had? Work ethic. Do you have a work ethic as far as back to the business? Is this something that you can see yourself doing? And for me, I absolutely knew that if I had a great plan, I could execute the plan. So do you have a good work ethic? And can you do this? Either way, can I do this? Can I take vitamins every morning? Can I do that? Can I take them every night? That's what you would have to do every morning, every night. Your body does most of its healing in the evening. So can you do that? Can you commit to that? If you're interested in the business, can you commit to 2 to 10 hours a week to create an extra $100 a week, $500 a week, or have much, much bigger goals like myself? So those are the kind of questions you want to be asking yourself now. So this is my friend Jordan, and I wanted to show this slide because, again, back to that event that I went to that was so timely 3 years ago now. It was Jordan's event. He started a Next Level You event about 5 years ago, so I went in its second year. That's where I saw Lindsay Hardy, the picture I showed you before, and I met her. And that's where I saw Michael K. Ahas speak. And that's really was the event that got me very excited about the possibilities that and what I knew I could do within USANA. So I love this picture of them, and it's pretty timely because I've been asked to speak at his event, like I mentioned, in Orlando. He and Kristen have become good friends of my husband and I, and they have created this life within 10 years. Jordan was going to be a doctor, so he was getting ready to go to med school. He was an amazing athlete, had opportunities as an athlete, but he was introduced to it by a friend of their family who was a doctor. So Jordan was going in to become a doctor, and their very, very successful friend who was a doctor was trying to leave that through USANA. And it's really, really an amazing story that Jordan has. And so he saw what the potential was to not only earn an incredible income, but first and foremost to serve his community, to serve the world through better health, which is what he wanted to become a doctor for. So it was really a really great fit for him. But when we're talking about income, USANA offers many ways to make an income or earn residual income or extra income for your family through retail sales. We pay weekly, which is really actually unheard of in the industry. We have many types of bonuses and incentive programs, like the trip that my husband and I won, which is a lot of fun. If you can see the little thing on the bottom there where it says 42.9% of USANA sales are paid in commissions, I do want to have you draw your attention to that. That's almost 52%, or just shy, or just a little greater than 40% of our sales are actually paid out to people like me and to people like you and the people that I partner with. That to me is really, really exciting. We do have an award-winning compensation plan. Award-winning in an industry this large is really, really something, and our accolades really go on and on. So again, all these things I mentioned to you to have you feel a sense of trust or confidence in the product, because if you know that you have a sound company that's financially sound and is fair, more than fair, to its associates and gives them great opportunity, then that's a company that you can trust, that's doing everything right. So this again, at the end here, you guys, this is where we want to ask you if you would like to become a team member. Again, if the business opportunity, referral partner, full-time coaches, we have a great plan in line for people if you want to team up with us, or if you want to be a customer. And the great thing is it really just doesn't matter to us. As a customer, you get the same prices as myself, who is an associate. It doesn't matter. I do not gain more as an associate by having you become a partner with me or the person that invited you to this webinar. They don't gain monetarily either way. So it's really cool. There's no pressure here. If you see yourself and it makes business sense for you to partner with us for that $29 and learn more about that, then you should 100% do that. I absolutely think it's an amazing opportunity. Absolutely, again, the most important thing for us and why we invite you here is for you to experience the best health if you've ever experienced in your life. So again, you have absolutely nothing to lose. And I love this next slide, is that everything is 30-day money-back guarantee. So there's literally nothing to lose. Try the products, and at 29 and a half days later, if you hate it, which I've never, ever, ever in my all years of experience have had anyone send back because they didn't like it, you have that opportunity to do so if you don't love how you're feeling. So I really feel like it's a win-win situation, and I love that USANA offers that. So at this point, you guys, I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. This is a lot of information, and we have other webinars that we would be happy to invite you to. But tonight, I want to thank you so much for being here. I hope that this information has been beneficial to you. I would encourage you to get together with the person that asked you to this webinar and ask your questions. And you know, people can research kind of till they're blue in the face, but there's a lot of information out there. But I'll tell you what, until you have actually made the decision to experience the products and what they can do for you and your family, you'll just never know. So my hope is for you, and my prayer is for you, that you take the leap, you choose yourself, you put that oxygen mask on and see what the world and what USANA has to offer you. Thank you so very much for being here, you guys. Have a super, super great night.